Alright guys, welcome back. This is the last time you'll hear me talk today. So, you guys were supposed to look at these with deal with parallel lines. For the first two, I used the slope of 2. And when you use the slope of 2, you should have gotten the equation to be y equals 2x plus 7. In this one, you had a slope of negative 1/4. So I'm using negative 1/4 in this point to find the equation of the line. So when I finally got the equation, I got negative 1/4 x plus 5. Hopefully you guys got the same. If not, just check what I did. And then for 7 and 8, you had to first solve for y in that first equation. And when you guys finally got y by itself, you guys got y equals 1/2 x minus 7 with the slope of 1/2. So you use the slope of 1/2 and the point at 4, 5. And when you guys did that, you should have gotten the equation to be y equals 1/2 x plus 3. So with the last one, you had to solve for y. So when you guys got y by itself, you guys got negative 5/2 x plus 5. So your slope turned out to be negative 5/2. And when you guys solved for y, you should have gotten y equals negative 5/2 x minus 8. Alright, so hopefully that's okay with you guys. Now I'm just going to add one more step here. One more type of equation. We're going to look at perpendicular lines. And just remember, perpendicular lines have slopes that are negative reciprocals of each other. So, same idea. We're going to have a point at 4, 3, and it's perpendicular to this line. So this slope is 1/2. Well, if it's perpendicular, that means my slope is going to have to be negative 1, or not negative 1/2, Mr. Graham. Negative 2/1, or just, your slope's going to have to be negative 2. Because remember, we're flipping 1/2, so it's 2/1, and then we put a negative in front of it. Alright, so y minus y1, and then m times x minus x1. So we have a slope of negative 2, x minus 4, y minus 3, and then you got y minus 3 equals negative 2x plus 8, and then we just add 3 to both sides, and so you guys got negative 2x plus 11. That'll be your equation in this case. And then let's look at the last example here. Alright, so we got the point is negative 5, 1. And your line is 5x plus 3y equals negative 21. So we're going to take 5x plus 3y, and we're going to solve for y. So I'm going to subtract 5x from both sides. So you guys got 3y equals negative 5x minus 21. And then we're just going to divide both sides by 3. And so when I do that, you guys get negative 5/3x minus 7. Alright, so that's the equation of this line. If it's perpendicular, that means that your slope is going to be the negative reciprocal of negative 5/3. So it's going to be 3/5. So we're going to use that and the point at negative 5, 1. So we're going to do y minus 1. And then we got 3/5 x. I'm going to change it to minus negative 5. We can do that. That's fine. So I got 3/5 x plus 5. And then we're just going to distribute. So you guys end up with 3/5 x plus 3. And you got y minus 1. So when I get y by itself, I'm going to add 1. Add 1. So your final equation would be 3/5 x plus 4. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. I've shown you just how to work with perpendicular lines. And I'm going to ask you guys to be honest with me and honest with yourself. And try to do these 4 questions without looking at the answers. And so that means if you guys could pause the video, and once you have these, now you guys can look at the answers. I'm crossing my fingers that you guys just waited a second and tried these. So for number 9, the slope was 3/4 before, so that gave us a new slope of negative 4/3. So I used negative 4/3 and this point to find the equation. I got negative 4/3 x plus 1. When I look at number 10, the slope was 1, and that meant the new slope would be the negative reciprocal of 1, which is negative 1. So I use the slope at -1 and the point at -3, -2. I got -1x minus 5 when I solved that. Now looking at these last two, we had to solve for y for both of them. When I solved for y for the first one, I ended up getting -1/5 x plus 2. So that meant the slope was -1/5. If I flip that, if it's perpendicular, it's going to turn out to be +5. And when I solved for y, I got y equals 5x minus 7. That last one, I got number 12. I solved for y. I got y equals -1/3 x plus 2. The slope is -1/3, so my new line is going to have a slope of 3. And then we're just going to solve for, use the slope of 3 and -1, -6. When I did that, I got 3x minus 3. Hopefully this was helpful. Hopefully you guys understand that. Your job tonight is to work on the homework that hopefully the sub passed out to you, and then also work on the weekly review. Hopefully I will see you guys tomorrow.